Hello, my friends. This is Andy, coming to you live from Yorba Linda, California, on the California Parent Alliance podcast. And I know the words that I use to describe this particular episode are very strong, that this will not get better unless you wake up. And truer words have never been spoken, I don't think, because we truly, as parents, whether your kid goes to public school or a private school, and in some cases, even homeschooled kids, we have to just really get involved in the education of our kids. And even as homeschooling parents, your kids still have to be out on occasion at a park or hanging out at church events. At some point, they're going to interact with other children that are in your community. Even a park where they have trampolines. I mean, Defy is the one that my kids like to go to, and they'll be talking to one another, and they'll be have at moments be together, and it all matters what it is we are teaching our kids and what they are going to be involved in. And you definitely need to be involved in what's happening in your school district. Again, regardless of what it is that your kids are doing, whether you're teaching them at home or in a private school or in public school, and getting involved in being at school board meetings and fighting for what is going on in your community, because what's happening in the public schools is going to at some point affect you in your community. If the kids are not being taught how to read, how to count, about the true history of our country, not the made-up history that you're hearing many people on the left pushing in your schools, and teaching our kids how to think, not what to think, but how to think, how to process, how to be critical thinkers, how to do research, how to find out the truth in what's happening. It will catch up to you at some point, because these kids are eventually going to graduate in public school being taught the far left propaganda about how racist our country is, which it is not. Are there racist people in our country? Yes. But is our country racist? No. Is it one of the most giving countries on the planet? Yes. And so regardless of what it is that you're doing in regard of what you're doing with your children, you have to be involved in what's happening in your community, especially what's happening in your school districts, and paying attention. And I got the great opportunity to speak at what was called a Brave conference, and was able to talk about this very subject. And I understand that many people, especially those that are conservative Christians, those that are conservatives, have held back for a very long period of time. And much of that holding back is what has caused us to be in this situation that we are in our country right now. But everybody's so afraid. They're so afraid to upset somebody. They're so afraid to offend family members or their friends, or in some cases even get fired from their jobs because they speak out against 50 different genders. They speak out against boys claiming to be girls competing in girls sports, men competing in women's sports in the Olympics, and they're afraid to speak up against that. They're afraid to even say that possibly they go to church as a Christian. We're hearing that's happening right now, where people are being canceled because of their Christian faith. An actor, I can't remember his name right now, but he's being canceled because he's come out as a Christian, that when he goes for a walk, he listens to Christian music. And now people are trying to cancel him from being in any movies in the future. So I understand, but this is the world we're going to live in right now. And if you are afraid to do so, then you're going to have to take the consequences of what's currently happening in regard to everything, right? I just went to get gas the other day, and it cost me $90 to fill up my tank at $5 a gallon. That is currently the cost of gas here in the state of California. And depending on where you're at, it could be as high as $8 a gallon, as we've seen up in Northern California. In Orange County, it's right at $4.99, just below $5 a gallon. And so again, you're going to have to put up these consequences because you're not willing to speak up. You're not willing to say that this is just Garbage, not the kind of garbage that the president said the other day, truly garbage. This is garbage that you're being taught, that your child, if he's white, is racist, that if your child, if they're brown or black, are oppressed, that the bridges are racist, that the roads are racist, the trees are racist. This is the consequences of you being quiet, is that these are the things that are going to begin to happen. And your children are going to pay a price and be taught that, again, they're either oppressors or they are the oppressed. And you are going to have to, at some point, realize that you are going to lose friends. You are going to lose family members. You are going to maybe even lose your job. But if you don't speak up and speak out, it's going to get worse. These things are not going to get better if you do not decide that you've had enough. We've had enough. I've had enough. I had enough a long time ago, so I've been speaking up for a very long time. But I'm just begging you, those of you that have stayed quiet, and I know some of you told me, I can't even have an American, not me, but you, of course, we have an American flag right here. Or, I'm sorry, wrong side. Here it is. Right here. You have told me that on your Zoom conferences with your businesses that you cannot have an American flag in your background because you will get fired from your job. Put the American flag up in your background and get fired from your job. It is time. I know you're all saying, well, you this. Yeah, I know. I've been canceled. I got canceled in testifying in a courtroom because of my views. They got completely brought up into and I don't care. I don't care. If you don't think that I've lost family members, I have. If I have lost friends, I have. If I have not lost business opportunities, I have, because I have spoken up. And I'm ashamed of some of y'all who have not taken that stand, that you are willing to sacrifice your children and what they're being taught in school, public school and private school, because you're afraid of losing a family member, a friend, or a job. At what point do you take a stand? If you would have been around at any time that our country needed you to defend this country, you would have not have stood up. And I would have said, shame on you. Don't be a coward. God did not create you to be a coward. He did not create you to have fear. We, like many people before us, and I'm trying not to get too much on a soapbox. I'm really trying to refrain myself. I don't know why, but this country would never have existed if they would not have stood up and would not have taken a stand. People have died for this country. We're not asking you to die. We're just asking you to take a stance. Have an American flag in the background of your Zoom call in your business and say, no, I am not removing the American flag. No, I do not believe that there are more than two genders. No, I do not believe I am racist because I'm white. I don't believe I'm oppressed because my last name's Jimenez. I don't believe it. I never have believed it. And it's shocking. It's shocking to me that I know people, that I actually have been friends with people, that I have family members that believe that they are oppressed, that they are oppressors. I have some really good friends, or had really good friends. I had really good friends that I spent time with in the business, world, entrepreneurs that have suddenly shown to me that they are cowards and fearful people, that they think that I'm racist, that have called me racist to my face or online through comments, that because I love this country, because I love God, because I love my children, because I believe there are two genders, that I am a horrible, nasty person, that I'm fighting for my children, that I'm racist, that I do not want CRT being taught, or DEI as they're also calling it, that I don't want it being taught in my schools, that I am racist, and that I'm a terrorist, a domestic terrorist, that I have friends and family that believe that. And I think it is it we it is sad. That's all I can tell you. It is really sad that there are so many of you that have taken the stance that you're just going to be quiet. I don't know. I don't know what's worse. At least the people that call me a racist, even the people that have called me a domestic terrorist, at least they've taken a stand. Those of you that have remained quiet and have decided that you're not going to go to a school board meeting and stand up for your children so that they don't get forced to take a try not to get pulled off. Although I'm live on Rumble right now, and that's okay. I know I'm live on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and they will be taken down, but that they will be forced to do something. Let's just say that, so we don't. I don't know. I'll probably get taken down anyway. That you could care less about your children's health, that you're allowing them to not breathe oxygen, that you're allowing that to happen and not fighting back. I tell my children all the time, I go, any chance you have to take that mask off or drop it down below your nose, you do it. I had a teacher send me an email the other day and said, I've repeatedly told your son to put that mask on and I'm going to report him to the principal. And I said, good, report him. I will not have my child masked for hours in a day. And I wrote back, I showed him all the statistics. I shared with the teacher the studies out of other countries, because God forbid our country do a study to show how masking children is causing them health issues and harm, that is causing them depression, that is causing children to be in a state of depression, that is causing so many children to commit suicide and talk about committing suicide. That my son in high school said, Dad, you have no idea how many of my friends have said that suicide is an option, that they are considering it or have thought about it. And that, and shared with the teacher, that he sent me an email and had the balls to send me an email that he was going to discipline my child because he's repeated to him to keep the mask over his nose. And I said, screw you. And I sent it to the district and the school board, my response to his email, and for my children to stand up and not put up with this crap from their teachers. And thank God he has other teachers that say, you know what, you don't have to do that. You can put it around your chin. And then he has other teachers that have emailed me and said, thank you for standing up for your children. So you, that at least, again, I repeat this just because I'm not sure if I went off track too far, but that at least the people that have called me a racist, even the people that have called me sexist and what is that, the word they give you, toxic, that I'm a toxic masculine man, that have said that, at least they've taken a stand. At least they have the balls to take a stand. Those of you that don't are part of the problem. I was part of the problem. I've shared with you before that I too was not involved in the school board at a period of time, that I did not take a stand when I chose to not know. I chose to not know because I didn't go to the school boards and listen to what was happening in the school board meetings. I chose not to know what the issues were. I chose not to know what the curriculums were. It wasn't until COVID that I found out what our kids were being taught, like many of you. So I was there. I did not take a stand either. But now we are. Now we can see. Now I've shared with you. Now you know what kind of person you elected and put into the White House. And the vice. And yet you're still not taking a stand. You still don't have the guts to stand up for your kids. Now you know. Now you can see what's happening. Now you know, like Jefferson said, what is being taught. What kind of books are being in the library? That they have pornography being put on the bookshelves in the libraries. That boys are being taught how to give blowjobs. That they are being taught how to live a lifestyle that does not represent this lifestyle that is being taught in the home, that the nuclear family is what God wants us to have, that it is not same-sex attractions is not what we are teaching in our family. Do we have trouble with it in our family? Yes, but it's because we're competing with social media. That's bad enough, right? We no longer have our kids on social media, but we not only have to compete with that, but we're competing now against teachers teaching our kids that same-sex attraction is normal, and that you should, if you feel that way, that go ahead and do it. That if you want to be if you're a boy and you want to be a girl, that we will help you. We will show you how to have an operation so that you're no longer a boy. That's what we're competing with as parents. No, we should not be competing with the teachers. We should not be competing with the school boards. We should not be competing with the school districts when it comes to this type of stuff, because that is our role as a parent to be teaching. And that you are staying silent, that you're afraid to have an American flag on the back of your Zoom call in your background because you're afraid you might get fired from your job. That's the kind of person you are, then no wonder you're having the problems. You need to go to your school board website and look and see who is on the board. Know these people. In our case here at the Placentia Urban School District, we have people like Karen Freeman and Carrie Buck, who we are fighting against with these types of issues. They are promoting and look for every opportunity to promote CRT in our schools. They are looking for every opportunity to promote transgender issues in our school. And these are the people that you need to be aware of when we have people like, if you have somebody like Marilyn, for instance, who seems to be coming around, but we were able to get her voted in because we felt she had conservative values. Leandra Blades, definitely conservative values, and Sean Youngblood, definitely conservative values. That these are the people that we were able to get voted into our school district. We hope that Marilyn will come around and continue to fight in a conservative background, and even just that, just understanding that we need to make sure that our children are being taught how to read, how to write, and how to count, and how to think. That these people like Carrie and Karen want to teach our children what to think. Two completely different things. We then need to go and find out what the districts are and where it is that they are representing, what areas that they are. Are they in your school district? And if you have people in your school district or in your region, in your region, that you need to find out where those lines are. Oops, sorry about that. Well, there we go. Whoa. Where those regions are, where those lines are, and find out who it is that's in your district that is representing you on the school board. Those are super important. Right here it says area 4, right? And area 5. And so you go over here and you find out where area 4 and area 5 are. And it's important you find out who is that. If they are in your region and you're a parent, you may need to be the person that needs to for school board. You may need to replace them, and you have to go there, go to the school board, find out when your next school board meeting is. If you go here, I'll share the screen again. Is that when you go to the board, you go to the school board website, you're going to find out when the next school board meeting. For us here at Placentia Urban School District, November 16th is our next school board meeting, right? You're going to see it right there. Next school board meeting, November 16th. You're going to want to go there and be there. And no matter how many people show up, even if there's not enough seats, you need to show that you care, be a part of the solution. Don't be a part of the problem by not being there for your kids. So again, my point for coming on today was to share a little bit what you should do. You need to go in your school board. Hey, Amy, nice to see you. Sorry, I did see that earlier. I just was on a roll. But you need to be aware. You need to get involved. You need to not be afraid to speak up. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to just give you fair warning. When you begin to speak up against more than two genders being promoted in your school, when you go and you begin to say that I do not want CRT being taught in my schools, and yes, I know that you're being told that it's not being taught. I know that you're being told that DEI is not being taught in the schools. It is. I don't have it here. I usually do, but I printed out the California Board of Education, the CRT, the DEI curriculum that is going to be pushed into our schools. We know that teachers are pushing these pornographic books. We have a librarian in Yorba Linda High School who is promoting pornographic books for transgender same-sex relationship books to every student, not just the students that are interested in transgender, but every student. It's the book of the month that she's been promoting to students in Yorba Linda High School. This is happening in your school. We have a girl who's saying that she's a boy getting dressed in the boys' room at El Dorado High School. These things are happening. And it's happening because you have been silent and you have not made sure that when you are electing board members, that you're electing the people that represent you in your school regions where your children go to school. All right, so really important. You need to get involved. Go to your school board website. Find out when the next date is for your school. You just go there and you put it into the school board and look for the tab that says for dates for your next school board meeting. You need to go. If they say you can't be inside, then I don't care. You go there and you make sure, and you hold up signs on the outside. You make sure they know that you're there. You want to make sure that they know you care. You want to make sure that you elect the people that you want in the school board and make sure that they understand that you care. All right. And I'm considering in the region where I know that we have school board members that we need out of our school board, that my plan is to set up an Easy Up with a table at the grocery stores where parents go to shop for food for their kids and make sure they understand what is happening in their schools and what person is that we would think would be the best fit for that region. And my plan is to have a booth and an Easy Up that gives direction to teachers in those areas, what it is that they need to know about their schools and their district and what's happening in their school district. You need to do the same thing. All right, so make sure you do that. Make sure and go to California Parent Alliance website, californiaparentalliance.org, californiaparentalliance.org. Go there and make sure and subscribe so that you can get announcements as to what's happening, like rallies and events that are going to be important for teaching you what it is you need to know about CRT and DEI, that you need to know what is being taught is in regard to sex education and the pornography that is being found in the books, in the libraries, and in the teachings of sex education, that you are aware of some of these issues that are happening in your schools that you need to know about. Go to californiaparentalliance.org and make sure and subscribe. It doesn't matter if you're a parent or a grandparent or an aunt and uncle. If you know of a child that's in your family that's going to these school districts, make sure you sign up so that you can be aware and be there. I know that at this last school district meeting at the Placentia Urban School District, I ran into many police officers that I worked with at Anaheim Police Department who have kids in the school district, number one. Number two, I ran into people that I said, do your kids go here? And they go, no, but my niece goes here. And I want to come here and listen to see what's going on because I love my niece. I want to make sure that she is being taught how to read, how to write, how to count, how to think, not what to think, how to think. All right, who else did I find? Grandparents. Grandparents were getting up and speaking at the podium about what their grandchildren were being taught in their schools. We had children that go to school speaking up about what was being taught to them in their schools. All right. Hey, Paul Byer, nice to see you. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Paul says, thank you so much for doing this and being a great advocate. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that very much. All right, my friends. So be a part of the solution. Again, you got to speak up. You got to be involved. I know. I am there. I know what you're saying, but I have lost business. I have lost friends. I have lost family because you know why? Our country means that much. God means that much. And our children mean that much. Stop being silent. You got to get involved. All right, my friends, take care. Talk to you later. Bye.